Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading with Susie and Ricky from the Pink Diamond Guide. Just underneath this super full moon, what have you guys released with the retrograde going on, and what have you guys noticed on the other side of it? Like, we've noticed the quickening, and we've done our little discussions and we've let go of a few things, and Susie will do a reading from the feminine side, and I'll pull a couple of cards out for the masculines, and we'll see how we go with all the
see what's happening on this side of the super full moon. Like Ricky said, we have noticed a quickening in people around us, and even just going for a drive. Like, every car just seemed to speeding.
Yeah, fast and furious.
Yeah, it's like there's this real fast-paced energy coming around us, and we have been talking to Divine Feminine, having chats, seeing how the energy has affected them. And like Ricky said, we're in a Saturn retrograde energy, but and by the end of the month there'll be three planets, three of the big planets in retrograde. So there's a lot going on right now, and twin flames really do, they feel it hard, and if on the other side, like we said, we went into our meditation and we talked about things that we still had to work on, releasing things from the past and setting intentions for the future. And sometimes that can cause the pain to reemerge. So like we say, if you need to cry, you got to feel it to heal it.
That's it.
You got to punch a pillow, get it out. Let that energy move.
Scream.
Yeah, whatever you got to do to get the energy to move so that pain doesn't get stuck as suffering. So we practice what we preach, and we went through the process as well. What I've noticed personally on the other side of it is that I got, straight after, I'm in a big download cycle. So I've had lots of pressure in my crown chakra, lots of fast-paced energy, and trying to get new messages through from Spirit. So I'm super keen to do a reading for you. It feels like we're going to get some great messages. What about you, Ricky? How are you feeling on the other side of that meditation? You've got a whole different experience going on.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I just feel so relaxed after letting go of all the negative energy and letting it back into the quantum sea.
Sending it back to whence it came.
Yeah, that's it. And filling that void with gratitude. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah. So we'll do that. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to read from the perspective of the Divine Feminine. And we do connect, by and large. Mostly we're connecting with Divine Feminine. So initially the read will be for you. And then Ricky will draw for the Divine Masculine, see how the energy is affecting them. And then we'll pull some Divine Love Oracle cards to wrap our message up, and hopefully give you guys some real insight into how these energies are playing out, and how you can make the most of them. Like, as I'm starting to read, I'm just feeling this big wave of emotion for the Divine Feminine. So I get the feeling a lot of Divine Feminines have really been working this energy. You feel that push from the universe, and because you're connected and you're chasing divine connection, you'll feel instinctively what it is that you need to do. So let's have a bit of a look. I'm going to stop talking, stop shuffling, and let's see what we've got as a reading for you guys. Oh, Ace of Cups again. This came out in the last reading too. This fresh new energy really wants to be, look, and Temperance. Divine Feminine, 10 of Wands. Yeah, we know this. Yeah, the end of burdened. Challenge is the 7 of Pentacles. Our advice is the 6 of Cups. Interesting. And look, this is, you can't even make this stuff up. Hey, this is, we had the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles come out in our last reading as we looked into the what to do with the super moon and how to use these energies moving forward. What have we got at the bottom of the deck? Page of Swords, 4 of Cups, Page of Wands, the Star, the Empress, and the Magician. And you know what? We've been having this one come out a bit too, Divine Feminine, the Eight of Swords. The getting in that mental prison and not knowing how to get yourself out of it. That is well down the deck. As is the Two of Pentacles, that juggling energy. That's good to see that sort of, you know, I probably shouldn't have even picked these two up. I was just happy to see them way down at the bottom of the deck, below cards that I would pick up and read. What I'm loving, this is the energy from the Divine setting the room. Look, Magician, it's time to transform, Divine Feminine. You've known it and I've known it. It's been pushing against the Divine Feminine in this collective leading up. You know, the past month or so is really when I felt the push to start really connecting with the Divine Feminine. I've been reading tarot cards for forever and looking after people in private practice for a long time. I've only came out on YouTube recently because the push for the these divine connections to tip over to this next space is huge. And look at this, the Magician. This is the push from the universe to transform this next wave of twin flames and divine love connections into unions. Look at this, the next push from the universe. You, the Divine Feminine, the Empress, they really do want to bring you into, look at this, into the energy of the star. What a sequence that is. Look, all major arcana. Look at this. The push from the universe is huge on the other side of that supermoon. So the work that you've done, Divine Feminine, you've got out there, you've found where the pain is, you've got the energy to move. The universe says, let's go. Let's bring on the next chapter. The Magician, the transforming, led into gold. The Empress, she walks with such grace and such harmony. Look, she's connected to the universe. She's got a star of her, I keep saying Star of Crowns, Crown of Stars, that represents the universe and the zodiac. She's connected to Mother Earth. She's found, look at these rocks, these stable foundations that happen in her world. The Empress is rocking it. And with the Magician, God, this is massive push from the universe for you, Divine Feminine, to transform. And here we've got the energy of the star. Again, this was us the other night, sitting out under the moon, looking up to the heavens, feeling that big push from the universe. This supermoon was the biggest one that we'll have this year, and the energy behind it was power-packed. And yes, we've got retrograde energies playing out as well. So there's a lot happening universally to divine connections to push them from this space of where it has felt like it's led into gold. And the Divine Feminine, the push is against you right now. Like you are, the star is an energy of hope and transformation. That's a beautiful message to kick this reading off. We've also got, these are interesting because this is where you start to feel the effects of the shift. The Page of Wands, and look at this, Page of Wands and Page of Swords. So you've got them right at the starting line, starting to move into the next chapter of your ascension. Both of them have a staircase behind them. Both of them have ascension paths. This is having the passion to make a start. You know what you've got to do, Divine Feminine. The universe has set the stage. Look, they've set the stage to transform. There's hope and transformation, and 2 pages at the bottom of the deck. And here, look, put the 4 of Cups in there as well. And the 4 of Cups is all about discernment. If over here, look, you can see, there's your twin flame connection, right? There it is, your 2 of Cups ready to go. Over here is this cup of love that's waiting to be given to this connection. And over here, you've got the cup that's falling over. But what is this character doing? They are talking to the divine. They are letting water, the water of this, just flow over them so that they become one with the journey, right? One with the journey and going, yes, I'm holding my connection with love over here. I'm putting all my hurt feelings into a space that I can manage, and I'm holding out hope for a fresh new start over here. But how am I doing it? I'm looking up to the divine. So discernment, as this new push comes in for ascension, as this growth, this is messages. I don't feel this is a message from you, twin flame. I don't. If this came through, I don't know. You can see the Page of Swords as receiving communication, but it's not what I'm feeling under this particular push. What I'm feeling is that you're getting the messages that you need to. So you might, for the first time, be hearing the divine push you into understanding how science and spirit and the divine, how this all works together. Maybe the message comes from something that you find on the internet, something that you research. Maybe the push, this passionate push that you get, is understanding the journey. Maybe this is the first step in 1,000 steps that finally gets you conquering Mount Everest, and this time you don't have to climb Mount Everest with high heels on. Divine Feminine, this is the very, I love this as a kickstart to your reading. The Magician as the push, the Magician and the Star and the Empress at the starting line. I know I'm throwing cards around here everywhere. I'm excited. This is a new push. This is new energy that we haven't seen come through for you. So this is really exciting. So let's have a look. Some of these messages, however, are repeating messages. Like to see this eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and like being like, I took 6 cards there, that's 7 layers deep. So to me, it's getting to the point of being irrelevant. You are pulling yourself, fully. Yeah. And Ricky, you're talking to divine feminines too. We're having messages come back and forth all day.
Yeah.
And you're seeing growth and shift and change out of this state where they're, just stuck in their thoughts.
Yeah, there is a bit of growth you're seeing with people when you're helping them. It's good to see.
Yeah.
And that being at the bottom deeper than 6 cards is awesome to see for the feminines.
It is, because we've had it up in these readings way too much, and this has been, overthinking, feeling like they're in pain, feeling like they're in suffering, and they couldn't set themselves free. So to see that so far down, and look, with the 2 of Pentacles there too, all that juggling, like it's good to see those energies pushed right down on the other side of this moon, and to have that Magician, transformation and hope. And really, like you back me up, the people that we're talking to are really feeling these shifts, aren't they? The transformations and the push towards having more hope. Yeah.
They're feeling it, but they also, it's good to also help them through what they're going through.
Because it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hurting. Yeah. Okay. Keep reading, because I will sit and talk to him all night. Okay, Ace of Cups. So this is the push from the universe, right? So we saw this in the last reading as well, and I was referring, and I talked at length. I won't repeat the same messages if you've been following these in sequence. So there is that other reading directly before this one where I really delved into what self-love means. And why I think the Ace of Cups is an important energy that the feminine is experiencing, because to me it's about experiencing self-love as knowing what it is to love with the divine. So it's not about that looking in the mirror and going that you fit into your jeans really nice this week. It's got nothing to do with it. It's all about understanding how the divine moves with you to understand your place in the universe, which is, it's massive, eh? You get out on the surface of the planet and you're looking up and you can see for forever. You can see to a star that are like however many million billion miles away that they are, and you can just see out to forever, and it can truly make you feel very insignificant. And this world that we live in will tell you that if you don't look like Kim Kardashian in a pair of jeans, that somehow that you're not worthy. And you tie these concepts up of being insignificant in the grand scheme of the universe and being less than magazine perfect with the social media feed that gets pushed against us. So like there's so many challenges against women having self-esteem that it's not funny. That's a different issue to understanding self-love, in knowing that where you are risen from, you are not separate from the divine. When you come to understand what it is to know that you are never disconnected from the divine, you are never disconnected from your twin, you're never disconnected from anyone you're not even disconnected from this table that I'm laying these cards on. You're not disconnected from anything in creation. When you come to know how important your place is in that sequence of events, that is when you come to know self-love. So don't confuse it with this. I get cranky and I get stuck on this subject because there's this big spiel out there that says, if you don't love yourself, you'll never get anyone else to love you. And I really hate that that's such a throwaway line, because self-love, I know a bunch of people who have very poor self-esteem, do not know divine love, do not have any concept of self-love on this scale whatsoever, and have lived in relationships for forever and a day. They know a different version of love. They can know companionship love. They can know family love. They can know love in a bunch of different ways that has nothing to do with true self-love and what it takes to hold this connection for your twin flame. So do not confuse this message. Go forth and find yourself and find self-love with having to fit into a pair of jeans and having great self-esteem. They're different concepts. And if you can wrap your head around it, there's lots of processes you can, or information available, and I'll keep digging into different concepts as I do readings, but I really want to push home that when we're talking about this idea of self-love and coming into connection with the divine, it's really understanding, this is, to me, this is the kicker ideal that self-love is about, is knowing that you're never disconnected from the divine. You're never disconnected from your twin. You're never disconnected from anything. And when you can understand your pivotal part to play in that scenario, you'll come to know self-love. Rant over. But I think it's just such a big concept. So I will, as any time the Ace of Cups, yes, it does mean new love. It could well and truly mean that you have a new romantic connection coming. But the way I'm reading it under these current energies is it's more coming into understanding of the divine. Send forth the Temperance card. So how are you showing up in the world? You are starting to understand what this push is, divine feminine. You really are. Look, if this is some kind of divine force that's pouring energy out, you are receiving it in a balanced way. You have got to that point where you are not about tearing yourself apart because these connections have come unstuck. You're actually getting yourself out of the scenario and bringing some level of moderation to the messages, not only that you're receiving, but that you're putting out as well. And I tell you what, we're hearing you in the conversations that we're having. We see you at this tipping point going, I do not want to live in suffering anymore. I'm going to find a new approach, a much more moderated approach to figuring out how these journeys come together. I am not going to break myself anymore. I am not going to live in pain and suffering. I am going to find a much more moderated approach to how I come to understand this journey. And what happens is when you start to, the universe will conspire with you. So you start to become more moderated and chasing understanding and knowledge, and the universe will bring its cup forward and conspire with you to bring this situation into balance. So that's a beautiful energy coming forward for you, divine feminine, on the back of these big super moon energies, because to me that's a lot of hurt and pain shed. To have this card come forward and say you're moving forward in moderation, that you're understanding more about who you are and why you're here, and that you're ready to receive this from the divine first and foremost, because then this becomes your connection with your twin flame as well. Remember, they're never separated. And here, look, I love this. In your soul space, the 10 of Wands, the end of the burden. Look, this he's got his knee down. He's not carrying this burden anymore. He's ready to set it down. This is you, divine feminine. And I talk, when I'm connecting with people, I talk about the difference between pain and suffering, right? This person has suffered for way too long. Yes, they're feeling the pain of carrying the wands on their back. They haven't taken the pain off they haven't taken the pain away, but they're going, I'm not going to relentlessly suffer. I'm going to take a knee and give this burden a rest. And it shows up in your soul space. And look, amazingly, next to the Temperance card, this is a brilliant read for you, divine feminine, because it says that you're coming to that tipping point where this is the point where it creates the void. And again, I speak about these consistently in my readings because the void is such a powerful concept. If you and your twin flame are, if this is you and your twin, and one is run from the other, and the other one is always, you know, closing in the gap, the divine cannot do what it needs to do to bring you both together. It is from the void that the divine creates. And if your divine masculine is always feeling that you're filling the gap on their behalf, they have no reason to turn around and make their contribution, because you guys exist at a different level. You do. It's like it's not the ordinary run-of-the-mill connections. You guys have got work to do, and the entanglements that play out between you are more complex. And therefore, to understand these bigger concepts of things like the void and things like self-love, things like moving into balance, they're all to be understood if you're really going to get out of your connection what you want. And I will always dive into different concepts that I believe are really pivotal as we go. But tonight, I really want to smash through where you are on this journey and what you've been able to accomplish under the full moon. And what I'm seeing is that you are connecting with the divine. You are laying down your burden. You are coming into balance. What is your challenge? I'm going to say a little bit of impatience, but at this point, you know what? That's not too bad. It's not too bad given everything. And we've been saying we're feeling that quickening. We're feeling that, rise in energy. Everybody's in a hurry. Yeah. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles here is sitting in the pre-harvest. So it's like you've done all your work. All of the fruit is on the tree, and you're sitting here waiting to pick the fruit. So that can feel like a challenge under this quickening energy, and feeling like you want something to happen. You want something to shift. You want something to change. And Spirit is saying, well, yeah, look, here it comes, the Six of Cups. And as twin flames, I know when I was going in this separation journey, when the Six of Cups comes out, I used to feel heartened by it, because to mine, I used to always believe that perhaps we'd had a past life connection for one. And for two, even the past in this life was, you know, like I used to, oh, the past is coming back around. That feels, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. But I also look at you know, inner child stories as well. So to me, when the Six of Cups comes out in a twin flame reading, I always go, oh, righto, this is another round of healing and growing, and perhaps there is contact coming about, like for Spirit to be rehashing the past. And I'm kind of leaning into that, is going that there's probably going to be something come up from the past connected to your twin that's here for healing. We will dig a little bit deeper into that one. I might get a clarifier on that one, because when it comes up, I go, why is Spirit asking us to dig into the past? So I might get some clarifiers to have a look. I might use this deck, and just because you're going to use that one, right? Yep. Let's have a look. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, these ones are. Let's have a look. They just like got sticky energy. I don't know if I want to do those ones.
You can use those ones. I don't use those ones.
You know what? I'm going to use these ones just to be different. Let's have a go. Let's see. Thank you, though. Let's see. Why is the Six of Cups here? Can we just get a couple of clarifiers on that one? That one wanted to jump out. Yeah, look. See, this is a shift has occurred, Divine Feminine. I really do feel it, and like even doing this reading, like I'm just feeling the heat and the energy and the quickening of things that are happening. So let's just get one more to see what they're saying. Oh, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, look. So I've asked why the Six of Cups come out, because I'm interested. Is this a return to the twin flame story? Is it a return to the past? What's going on? And what do we get out? Here, look. I love this, because the push from the universe right now is the Ace of Cups. That's to know self-love. And look at this. The Queen of Cups, she holds the Ace of Cups, right? And she knows how to give love. She knows. She is the most love in tarot, the Queen of Cups. She's just the darling who knows what is in that Ace of Cups, and she knows how to give. She knows how to share. And then we've got the Three of Pentacles, which in a twin flame read, I often equate to the twin flame pair and the divine getting to work on. So you've got the masculine, the feminine, and the divine all choosing a path and going for it. So there we go. We've got some level of giving coming back to this connection. So I have been feeling it for a while. I've been reading that this is coming to some kind of a tipping point where the connection turns back around. I can't wait to see what Ricky draws for the divine masculine, to see how this is affecting them. But to mine, you're going to have some kind of uplift in your soul, in your spirit. And it's like, if we're looking at it as a return from the past, it could be information, and timelines are impossible to predict. But to mine, the change has occurred, the line in the sand. I don't have that death card there, but like, it feels like that to me. It's like there's a definite shift in the way that energy is being received and being played out universally. So how beautiful to have those two come out side by side. This feels very positive to me. And then to have as a likely outcome the Ace of Pentacles. Now, it is, the Ace of Pentacles is, especially for twin flames, I see that ascension staircase in the background. And this is getting to work on what needs to be done for your mission. But honestly, your mission is working with your twin. And look at this. This is the three of you, your twin and the divine, getting to work on your mission. And here is the pentacle that you've chosen to work on. So the next chapter looks like it's got some fruit, divine feminine. Let's see what I'm keen. What have you got, Ricky, for the divine masculine? First one out. Oh, we still got the juggling energy. This has come out a bit for the divine masculine lately. So here, this is the push from the universe, and this is you, divine. It's still the divine feminine going first. You've made some big shift, and you've made some more understanding. You're receiving the energy better from the divine. You're understanding yourself better. And here we've still got the divine masculine playing this game of juggling. Over here we've got the divine and divine energy floating along behind him, and he's still tossing up ideals of what will I do. Look over here, you've got your pentacle. I think you know your path forward from here on in, and he's still going, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? I'm getting this push from the divine, but I really don't quite know what it is still. So still that juggling energy coming forth, and it has shown up in the past couple of readings. That, and in the previous readings, we've kind of referred to this ideal of having the devil and the divine in his ear. And if this was the divine and this was the devil, he's kind of still looking at these earthly things and not really getting the full push of the divine right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if we've got some shifting energies along there. The push is still for him to make a decision. Look, how is he showing? Wow, we got this. This is a repeating message too. The Knight of Cups is coming around a little bit for the divine as well. What I love about the Knight of Cups, he's one of my favourite characters in the deck, along with the Queen of Cups. So starting to get some lovely pairs coming out here. The Knight of Cups is kind of in love with love though. Like, look at him. He's even got him. He's got the red heart energies on his yeah. Look, it's like it's red and Valentine's Day is what I'm looking at there going. He's all decorated and pretty. He's got his cup right out there. Look, he's got the Ace of Cups. If that's you, divine feminine, right? You're in this Ace of Cups push. So he's feeling it, right? But as yet, he's nowhere near the river of truth. He's up on his horse. He's still got there's some level of delusion to this Knight of Cups, is what I want to say. If I don't know, you put this juggling ideal over here with going what his ideals about love are, without the divine included, are still that fluff and nonsense kind of energy. So you could probably spend time with your divine masculine right now and feel some level of, you'd still feel that bubble love energy. You'd still feel the connection. You'd still feel the love and light, but you would not feel the intensity of divinity that comes with the ascension that you've been through. So to mine, this is still, it's not a slam dunk, but it's definitely progress to show up, with this in love with his cup runneth over. It's art and poetry and its beauty, but here his feet are still out of the truth of what this connection is. So maybe what else have you got? Let's see how this unpacks. Oh, look. In the soul space, we've got the Five of Swords. So, again, we've got this waterway behind behind the divine masculine, and he is having some level of victories. So whatever he's cutting away in this space over here, he's feeling like he's victorious in it. So in his soul space, he's going, well, I'm making progress on some fronts, and whatever this battle between the devil and the divine is, it feels like he is having levels of victory, because he is feeling love towards you, divine feminine. See this? It's like I am starting to have a victory, and I am starting to look back at the connection and going, what was that? Why did that happen? What is it all about? Just as you're laying down the burden and going, I just can't carry this connection for both of us anymore. Look, see, you're turning this way, knees down, done, and he's going, well, where are you going? Look, he's looking that way. Well, where are you going? You used to be the one that filled the void. You were the one who did all the heavy lifting, and the gap between us, you used to fill it with your obsession for me. You used to fill it with everything you used to think, and you would stalk me, and where are you going? Where are you taking your burden? And then that leaves him having to do some work. I mean, I can imagine this as like a shovel, and now he has to dig some dirt and start to build the bridge between you both. But look at him. It's like you're headed off this way going, oh, I'm sick of this burden. I'm done. I'm not going to carry it for both of us anymore. And he's looking this way going, where are you going? Why are you making me do so much work? I just want to, can't we just have the fluff and nonsense part of it? Why does it have to, why do I have to have this battle with the devil and the divine? It's still a bit of a mystery. What have you got as his challenge? Yeah, look. Challenge is to actually take some action on this. I kind of like this. It's like, over here, look, and if you you go, he's looking at you going, where are you going? Why aren't you carrying this burden anymore? Because I'm talking energetically too. This is not just what you're seeing in this reading. I'm talking energetically. He will feel if you've laid down the burden and gone, I'm not going to be in suffering anymore. I'm going to focus on the journey. I'm going to be about me. I'm going to get to doing the work. And he's going, well, where did you go? His challenge is to actually do something about it, right? His challenge is to put something into motion to be able to go, he might feel all these lovely bubblegum feelings towards you, but what is he actually doing? Is he just sitting on them? And this is the thing, you want to sit on water. Do you know what happens to water that just sits? It festers. Water that doesn't move, water that doesn't have a life, water that's not giving will just fester, and that's not a drink you want to have. His challenge is to make the water move, is to make this cup move, so that you're able to share in what it is to have this love of the divine. And the challenge is, look there, you've got the water traveling along beautifully and nicely, and his challenge is to put something into motion. If this is what he's feeling, this lovely, lovely bubble love, fantastically beautiful, I'm in love with love, Mr. Valentine's Day feeling, and in his soul he's feeling you pull away, and he's going, where are you going? Why aren't you carrying this burden anymore? But his challenge is to do anything about it. Come on, divine masculine, you can do it. Put your feet in the water. What have you got as the advice? Really? Oh, look. Come on. The universe is saying, divine masculine, I want to give you everything. I want to give you all of your cup runneth over. Now, in my version of the tarot, I see the Nine of Cups as the bride before her wedding day. She's got everything that she wants. Everything is set. Everything is prepared. She knows exactly how lovely the drinks are in these cups of wine. This is wishes coming true. Cups runneth over. And here we've got the divine masculine. Is he sitting at the altar waiting? Is he just sitting there waiting, knowing that all of these cups could bring him so much happiness? And he's even, look, he's got his arms crossed. It even looks petulant, doesn't it? It even looks like, don't come close, don't come near. It's like a defensive stance for such a bountiful card. I'm really feeling that. It's like going, it's almost like I'm feeling that energy of stomping your foot and going, well, why aren't you chasing me anymore? Why is it that, what happened to all this blessing of you just obsessing about me and idolizing and wondering what I'm doing. Where did you go? Why did you lay down your burden? And it's almost like I don't know, I'm just seeing it as a very petulant Nine of Cups of going, well, all of my blessings I was doing quite fine when I was out here chasing whatever third party element kept me away from you. And now I'm feeling the sting of this Nine Cups. And look at this crossed arm defensive pose. If he's sitting at the altar waiting for the bride, he looks nowhere near as happy as on the and the other Nine of Cups. I should see if I can find. Do you want to, while you see if you can find the other one and just compare? Is that your outcome?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Because I'm talking to you about having the bride ready for the wedding day, and the likely outcome here we've got the Hierophant. So that can actually be someone who presides over a wedding day, right? It could actually be the Pope or the minister or the person who presides over a wedding day. And what have we got here? A petulant groom. There she is. There she is. A petulant groom and a bride who's really ready. See how they've got very different energies? Like, she's done everything she needs to be ready for the wedding day. And he's sitting there petulantly going, well, you know, well, what about me? Where are all my preparations? Where are you? What's going on? It's a very defensive energy in comparison. I don't know, that's really striking me, because I always call her the bride before the wedding, and the advice is, come on, divine masculine, loosen up a little, and it's time to do your part of the journey, because the likely outcome is the Hierophant, which is next levels of wisdom. You know, like you're coming into understanding who you are and what your role is, and higher levels of connection with your divine feminine. So the likely outcome is all this work that you've done, divine feminine, to bring yourself into this next level of understanding, to move yourself onto the next phase of your ascension course, has likely triggered some level of defensive reaction in this divine masculine that has him going, where have you gone? Why aren't you just chasing me? Because essentially what the outcome is going to do is going to trigger this next level of ascension for you both. Higher wisdom, higher levels of commitment. It's actually a really interesting outcome. It's reading. I feel like that big shift we were waiting for has occurred, where the feminine is not sitting in that obsessive energy anymore, and it's like it looks like it's had an effect. What have we got here? Oh, this is from the bottom of the deck. So this is the 6 from the bottom of the deck that Ricky's been shuffling. And it's not surprising. We've had these, I'm sure, like probably that exact sequence. It feels like I'm having deja vu. But the Empress, you divine feminine, is the push. So balancing the masculine and the feminine energies, and coming to understand how the Empress shows up in the universe with her crown of stars there, connected to Mother Nature. She's very abundant, she's very fertile, she's got it going on, the Empress. And here we've got the Knight of Wands, so again we've got that push forward. The Knight of Wands energy doesn't tend to stick though. Like, he might charge forward and offer something relatively maybe this energy comes forward at a pace of knots, this I'm in love with love, and I've got something really lovely in my cup here for you to drink, but I've been sitting still for so long. Whereas the other card, the 8 of Wands, was sitting still for so long over here in his challenge position, that what's in this cup is probably, you shouldn't drink it. It's been sitting for too long, and it might have gone a bit yuck. Still water is not the go-to. So here he might charge forward with his cup of still water, but it probably won't stick at this point. We're still waiting for some level of justice, and I do get the feeling, I'm getting this very heavy petulant energy. So it's like the push from the universe is for him to come into balance, and is to swing this sort of truth that he's got going on over here. But the crap that he's pulled would be really hard to come back from in a lot of cases, and with divine feminine that we're talking to, sometimes it's hard for divine masculine to come forward and go, I know I've really hurt you, I know I've made mistakes, it's a lot to come back from, to seek forgiveness from the Empress. I mean, you got it going on, Empress. You've ascended, you are shining, you are glowing, you are wonderful. How does then Divine Masculine make this confident push forward towards you? Because karmic justice might mean you might tell him just to ping off. Just go, yeah, no, thank you very much. What you're offering is still underdone for me. You know, like he's a roast in the oven that not quite cooked yet, and needs to go back a little bit and go, well, until this is a meal that's really safe and delicious to eat, you can go back in the oven and cook a bit more. There's a karmic return of serve on that. You know, it's like, it feels like he knows he's going to get some kind of a pushback if he doesn't show up right. And look, what does that make him feel like? A little bit petulant, a little bit arms crossed, a little bit defensive, going, I want all my 9 of Cups, but I don't know if that's what I'm going to get. But the push from the universe is that he should seek it, right? Push forward, even if it's not going to stick. The push from the universe is to go forward. Why do I say that? Because the next level here, we've got, look, the Fool, we've got the Chariot, and we've got the Devil. So if these are the lower energies and this is the next level up, that step out on the cliff, Divine Masculine, and take a chance anyway. You might get shot down. You might get absolutely bitch slapped when you show up because of all the crap that's gone on. But it's like, this needs to come into balance. And Divine Feminine is doing her absolute best to hold that connection while you figure this out. And it might take a minute. And, you know, we don't mind saying it took us a minute, even when we came back around.
Took us a real hot minute.
Took us a hot minute to break down the crap we were both pulling. And, you know, like, when Reunion came back around, I think this is probably a fair thing to tell people. It wasn't just like we showed up on each other's doorstep and then suddenly we were in harmonious union.
We still had work to do.
We did, and we came together, came apart, but it was much shorter and much quicker, where, like, things we like, go, oh, yay, you're back, this is really, really great, and then we go, see ya.
See you later.
Yeah, so it took a lot of, I guess, persistence, and see this leap of faith stuff, and going, we're pushing each other away again, we'll take them, but we'll reach straight back out, you know. It was taking a leap of faith much quicker by the time it came back around, and I think this is kind of where this is pushing, is going, even if it shows back up, and the Chariot is that fast-paced forward movement, the Fool is, a leap of faith. It's a quicker turnaround. Exactly, and that's what we're feeling, is that quickening, that these turnarounds will be when they come forth and they do make this effort to connect. These times where you dance with the Devil, they're still part of that scenario, right? And we can definitely sort of confirm that even when we had this push to take a leap of faith and move forward in a positive, harmonious way, we were still dancing with this for a little bit. And even still, we still have to know that this is part of our journey, and we, instead of letting it tear us apart, which it did in the past, we realize that we have this, and I can choose this card or I can choose this card, and say we have the Divine and the Devil in perfect harmony, because guess how the universe creates? From positives and negatives. Both of them exist in perfect harmony, in union. The kicker is, what are you going to do about it? How do you balance out those energies when they come upon you? Because you won't move forward if you don't know how to balance the extremes of divinity and look, I always say the Devil and Jesus, they were perfect counterparts, right? They were, because the positive and negative of that is what allows the universe to create. It's out of that duality. And when this is where I say science and spirit, the divine, to put them all together, you come into such clarity as to why these separations exist. So if you, Divine Feminine, you want to get on board and understand your connection more, look into these concepts, these mechanics of positive and negative, and how we can say that you and your twin are never separate. The kicker for me is understand the journey, understand why you're here and what you're meant to do, because the devil and the divine, when you can find peace with how they dance together, that is when you can come into harmonious union and you will be able to hold the connection, right? Because we'll tell you easily, we have no trouble spending time in each other's company. We can spend all day together. It's no dramas at all.
No, not at all.
It's the devil stuff on the outside that is the challenge. It's not the connection. It's hard to hold.
Hold the connection.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep the connection.
Hard to keep it. It's hard to keep it because the devil and the divine dance to push you into next levels of being able to hold it. So it's a big concept to wrap your head around, and I could not encourage you more to understand quantum entanglement. And it's not that you have to know physics to wrap your head around this. I'm not a physicist. I'm not an astrologist. I'm none of the above. I'm a twin flame who wanted to understand my journey. So I'm introducing these concepts not because I understand them to their core, but because they were things I studied that gave me understanding of who I was and helped me bring this connection into a level of harmony that we were able to go, yes, we're easily connected, and now we can hold the connection as well. Righto, 3 quick cards. Let's go. Divine Love Oracle. Who are you drawing for today?
I'll do the masculine.
You're going to do the masculine? I'll draw one for you, Divine Feminine. Okay, what have I got?
You do it again.
I drew it again. Like, honestly, you can't make this stuff up. Suffering is optional, Divine Feminine. And I have drawn this in a previous reading. If you're looking back at our readings, these are all relevant. The readings that we've been doing under these current energy. If you go back and look at readings over the past week or so, they're going to be super relevant. It's not timeline specific, it's this energy specific. So this card keeps coming up. Suffering is optional, and honestly, this is what I want you to understand, Divine Feminine, is suffering is optional. Look, laying down the burden at this point in time in your soul. You do not have to carry this for both twins. I promise you, you don't. You can put a knee to the ground. You can hold your connection in affection. You really can. You can know. Like, you'll hear all these stories. You have to stop thinking about them. You have to stop this. You have to stop. You'll get all of these instructions on what you have to do, and you go, how the hell do I do that? How do I just not suddenly think about this person I've had this ridiculous connection with, and now I'm disconnected from, and they're in my thoughts, and there's synchronicities everywhere, and then everyone's telling me I just have to stop thinking about it, right? Suffering is when you obsess about that person. And then you obsess about the fact that you obsess about that person. And then you obsess about the fact that somebody tells you to not think about them. That's where the suffering comes in. Where you go, yes, I feel pain at the what divinity is putting me through. So I even scratch that into this card, like this is a painting I did when I was in the thick of my suffering, right? Divinity was holding me a prisoner in pain. But what I learned is that suffering is optional. I could feel the pain. I would cry, I would scream, I would punch, I would do whatever I had to do to move through the moments of pain. But what I learned is suffering was optional. How did I learn suffering was optional? Is I understood the journey. Science, spirit, divine. Get into it, honestly. It is, for me, it was the fastest way to get myself out of suffering, even though I still felt pain. What have you got for divine? Masculine. Oh, I love this.
You can pick the next one.
Yeah, for the connection.
Yeah.
This one's called Blossom. You know why this is so super cool? Is because this is what we really want to see for Divine Masculine in this next phase. So we've got you laying down the burden, turning away and asking the question, where did you go? You know what that's going to trigger? It's going to trigger the turnaround in the Divine Masculine. He is going to start to move into his journey, right? This cup of love that he holds, he's going to steer that horse over into that river and start to understand the divine. Why? Because you stopped filling the gap for him. He feels you disconnect, but not disconnect in the way that you don't care or hold the connection with grace or any of the above, but that the obsession stops. And the void that exists between you is there to serve you, and that is how the divine is going to grow your connection. When you pull that void out, it forces the Divine Masculine to blossom. And now every single living thing on this planet has its season to blossom. It has its time, and only in the right conditions will it actually sprout a flower. And you can see all those experiments. Look online, you'll see them. Plants that grow in the right conditions bloom at the right time. Plants that are not cared for, are not tended to, are not given water, are not given nutrition, they don't bloom. But what we want to do is we want the divine masculine to start walking in the river with the divine, and when he does, guess what? He's gonna blossom. That's a beautiful card, and really conducive to bringing these connections online. I like that. So one final card for the connection. What have we got? We've got the divine masculine. Oh, let's just wrap it up there. Divine masculine, you are now the center of attention. And I think the way our readings are going to go is we're going to start having more and more insight into the way this wave of divine masculines are starting to bloom and grow. I think I can wrap that reading up here. I'm excited to see what this next chapter is, and I really do hope that you fared well under this super moon and that you've used it to your advantage. The effects of it will still last for a little bit, so if you haven't done your clearing and set your new intentions, you still have a little bit of time. Get out there under the energy of the moon in the next few days, and anywhere that you've got pain that you can release, feel where if I said your twin flame's name to you right now and you are feeling pain around it, try and identify where you're holding it. Is it in your heart space? Is it in your sacral chakra? Is it in your crown? Where do you feel the pain? Because that will be where you're holding blockages at this point in time. If you can identify where the block is, lean into it, feel it deeply, feel it to heal it. And then once that energy starts to move, release it back to the quantum sea from whence it came. And fill that void in your energy space with something that you're super grateful for. The universe recognizes energy, not events. So if you're attaching energy to your twin flame that is somewhat painful, negative, hurtful, that is filling that gap for you, this is the time to release it and replace that gap in your energy field with something that resonates with the energy of gratitude. That place of neutral really does turn these connections around. Okay. Super read. It's been really great being able to get to the other side of this supermoon energy and see this shift happen for the divine feminine. We'll keep our finger on the pulse of what's going on. Thank you. If you've listened this far, thank you so much for supporting us, and we hope that we're really supporting you as well. If you like the way we deliver information, if you could like, share, subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. We want to reach as many people as we can to help them through this journey. We don't want people sitting in suffering. Pain is going to come. We acknowledge this as part of the journey, but suffering, we can let that go. So from us, that's about it. In faith, hope, and love. Till we talk to you again. Bye for now.